This is the Cliff Yates Show. Personal growth, motivation, inspiration, and philosophies for a great life.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Cliff Yates Show. As always, you are in the right place. Always you're in the right place. I'm laughing at myself. I got myself just laughing, which is good. It's the best medicine. We're talking today about 3 decisions that you make every minute of every day. You're making these decisions constantly, and these 3 decisions you're making on a constant basis. Not just you. I'm talking about me and you. I'm talking about us. I'm not just talking about us. I'm talking about high achievers, the winners, people that have mastered life, mastered things in their life. I'm talking about losers, drug addicts, those people too. They're also making these 3 decisions. And so if we change the way we're making these decisions, I am telling you, your life's going to change in such a positive way that you're going to get hooked on intentionally making these decisions. You're going to intentionally change your focus on a minute-by-minute basis. Subconsciously, you're going to do it. No effort. You're going to be making the right decisions on what you focus on and the meaning you give to it and what you do about it. Those are the 3 decisions that we make on a constant basis, daily, hourly, every minute. What we're going to focus on, the meaning we're going to give to it, and what we do about it. If we don't intentionally focus on what we decide to focus on, we're going to focus on what the world has decided us to focus on, because that's how they make their money, right? It's like the news. They know, the news media knows that our default position is negative, right? To be able to survive, we need to be in a default mode of negativity. In other words, we got to think, is that dangerous? Could that kill me? And so we pay attention to things that we think might be dangerous to us. Our brain says, I got to pay attention to this noise, this visual. Hey, I'm a little bit afraid because this might kill me. I want to stay alive. So that's why we default to the negative for survival reasons. But we can't really live a fulfilled life if we're paying attention to things that really aren't dangerous to us, things we really shouldn't be fearing, and focusing on the positive, where we want to go, and not where we don't want to go. Change your focus, change your meaning, and change what you do. Those are going to be the 3 big decisions. If we change them in a little bit of a way, intentionally, with intention, oh man, I'm telling you, you're going to get hooked on the power that you're going to claim by controlling your attention. You know, I haven't even gone to my notes yet. I took a bunch of notes for you yesterday that I wanted to share with you on the podcast today. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the show. Click that bell on the YouTube channel so that you get notified when the next video comes out. I'm telling you, you're going to love the content. It's going to be all about us living our best life, no matter what's going on around us. It's not our circumstances that determines our position and our direction in life. No, it's us. It's an inside job. Not that we shouldn't pay attention to what's going on. And not that we shouldn't know what's going on in current events and the news and not be involved. No, we should be. I mean, absolutely. That's without question. That shouldn't even be. And there's too many people that I'm not going to look at that because it's too negative. No, we need to pay attention to what's going on. We want to be knowledgeable. We don't want to have our head in the sand. We don't want to be in our boat 3 feet from the falls and then realize what's happening. Now it's too late to take action to survive. So we do want to pay attention to what's going on, but we want to do it intentionally on our terms, right? Maybe we decide, listen, I'm going to focus on current events in the news this morning for 30 minutes. I'm even going to set an alarm so that I don't get dragged down any rabbit holes. But for 30 minutes, I want to pay attention. Hey, what's going on here, there, everywhere? But then I got to move on and focus on other things. Then I have to focus on my workout, get into the gym. I got to focus on the things that I have control of in my life. And so now you have paid attention to the news, but you didn't get dragged into death scrolling. You know what happens when all of a sudden, what the hell, where did an hour and a half go? I just looked at my social media and now an hour and a half is gone because, hey, that's their job, to grab our attention and hold it as long as possible. Keep you on our platform. Don't leave. Are you sure you want to leave? And now you get that message, right? No matter what you're on, if you're on Peacock, if you're on Paramount Plus and you go to exit, right? You get that pop-up. Are you sure you want to exit Peacock? Yes, I'm sure. And so I'm sure that we need to intentionally focus on what we need to be focusing on, which of course is exactly what we're focusing on and exactly the meaning that we're giving to what we're focusing on and exactly what we're going to do about it. Those 3 decisions, claim that power. And I'm telling you, you're going to get hooked on exercising your personal power. As Tony Robbins would say, your personal power. I think he has a book called I know he has Unleash the Power Within. Claiming your personal power. I mean, it's so important and so available to you and me, to all of us. And I know that's why you're here. And I know that's why you spend time with me. And sometimes I get a little bit focused on the numbers. Oh, not too many people are listening or watching. And then I get the message, right? I get the call. I get the email. Cliff, what you said or did is shared with me. Made a big impact on me. Matter of fact, I did it. These are the results I got. Thank you. That's more than $1 million to me. Knowing that I fulfilled my mission of having a positive impact on somebody else in such a way that they took positive action to change their own life in a positive way. There's no greater joy in that. You want to get involved in that? You're going to feel it too. So join me. You know, and listen, today, because of technology, I took a note on this. We can scale things. We can scale the effect that we have on people. If your mission, like mine is, to have a positive impact on other people, right? There was a time when we could just have that impact inside the house, maybe to the neighbors, maybe in the town square, or maybe in a library, giving a talk to 30, 40 people. But now because of technology, we can actually share a message to the world for free. No greater time than now to be a creator, a communicator, and to take control of our power, of what we focus on, the meaning we give to it, and what we do about it. Those 3 decisions. Spaced repetition. Listen, repetition is the mother of all skill, and spaced repetition is really the mother of all skills. And so we need to constantly, on a daily basis, be practicing intentional focus on our focus, what we're focusing on, the what, the meaning we're going to give to it, and the actions we're going to take along with it. Those 3 daily, minute-by-minute decisions that we're already doing, but if we do it intentionally, we can claim our power. And it's so true. It's so, people are going to, blah, blah it or poo-poo it. But that's okay. These things become cliches because they're true. They're real. And listen, we're going to have to be the minority of people that live our best lives. Jim Rohn used to talk about guy makes $1 million in 1 year. And he writes a book about it and says, hey, I made $1 million in 1 year. This is how I did it. If you do these things that I did, you might have similar results. And how many people read the book? Not too many, he says. Not too many. Why? We don't know. It's one of those things. One of those fascinating things. And that's a good way to look at things, right? Yeah. Somebody wrote a book about being a millionaire, told everybody how to do it. Not too many people did it. Fascinating. That's how you have to look at it. Fascinating. All right, let's look at the, like I was saying, we now have the ability to really expand our reach for free because of technology, right? Hey, let's talk about AI, artificial intelligence. AI. Everybody's worried, is AI going to take my business? No, it's not. A human being using AI could take your business. So you need to start learning about AI right now. You need to be learning about AI right now. You know why? Because it's actually going to buy you more time. The thing that we don't have any control of making more of, we can buy some time back by using the tools that are available to us. It's happened in history. Just look back at what happened. People were afraid of the tractor and what that was going to mean to farming. It's going to ruin everything. Right? Somebody had to plow that field with horses. right? Or dig it by hand. Took them a week to get that. Took them a week to get that field plowed and ready for planting. Now here comes the tractor. No way. Hey, what's this going to mean? I'm afraid of this. No, hey, you're going to mess with success that we're already having. No. Now all of a sudden, instead of a week to prepare that field, in a half hour, it was done. The tractor came into being. The tractor came into being, and now instead of a week to prepare the field for planting, 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So with technology, and it's happening now, it happened in the past, it's going to happen in the future. We just need to be smart enough to adopt it, learn how to use it, and apply it to our own lives and take advantage of what's available to us. But now because of technology, we can scale things, our reach to other people. Right? Tony Robbins talked about a young lady who was trying to give a talk in a library for a few 30, 40 people. And now on all her platforms, she speaks to thousands and thousands of people on a daily basis around the world for free. We used to have to buy attention. We used to pay for ads. We used to have to buy magazine ads. I remember I did a comedy show in California, rented out the Hollywood Palladium, made some money ahead of time, right, from the sale of tickets. And I had a bunch of cash, so I bought ads in Daily Variety, 800 here, full page ad there, $1,000, right? Now, today I can do that same show. I can have just as much reach or more, and I could do that on social media platforms for free and have probably a better reach, get more people to come to my comedy show, make more money, so it can be very profitable for less price. Never been a better time to be a creator, a communicator, or running your own business. Now is the time. It's not a bad time. It is a good time. All right, so let's look at some other things. What decisions can you change in your life? Think about that. Think about the decisions. Think about the decisions you already made in your life. What if you hadn't made those decisions? I'm thinking back of 5 years ago of a couple decisions that we made. What if we didn't make those decisions? How drastically different our life would be. Can you think over the past 5, 10 years, some of the decisions that you made that made a radical difference in your life? And also, I'm thinking of the opposite. Think of the decisions that you didn't make and what kind of radical changes didn't happen or did happen because you didn't make those decisions. So our decisions change our life. So 3 decisions that we're making every moment. I've talked about this. I'm going to keep repeating because spaced repetition is the mother of all skill, and you're going to get this down so much that you're going to be thinking about this on a daily, if not minute by minute basis. You're making these decisions. Right now, you're making these decisions. It is the decisions that makes the difference in our life, right? It's not the circumstances. It's not the conditions. Right? Jim Rohn used to say, it's not my negative relatives, it's not the economy, it's not who's president, it's me. It's the decisions that I'm making, it's the way I'm thinking, it's the meaning I'm giving to things that's making the difference in my life. And those are the very things that I have total control over. So think about those decisions, man. Just recount in your mind the decisions you made in the last 5 or 10 years that made radical differences in your life, right? 3 decisions that control our whole life, right? Whether we've succeeded or we've failed, happy or miserable, great relationships or terrible ones. Whether you started a business or you failed to start one. Maybe you just talked about it and you never did it. Most of us make these decisions subconsciously, just a habit. What we are focusing on. Focus equals feeling. Where focus goes, energy flows. If you're focusing on a relationship with your boss and you're giving a meaning to that, he's after me, he's out to get me, you're going to react to him in a certain way. And if you're thinking, hey, he's a good leader, he's a good supervisor, he's trying to do the best that he can or she can, you're going to come at those people in a different way based on the meaning you're giving that relationship. So you can actually make that relationship better just by changing the meaning, because the meaning we give to it may or may not even be true. But we're going to react to that belief system that we've adopted. What we've said is the way it is. Just like an NLP, right? We react to perception, not reality. I'm reminded when I first got into this stuff in the LA Sheriff's Department, when I was working road patrol, working out in the field as a deputy sheriff. And this one sergeant kept rejecting my reports. He kept redlining them and circling things, and grammar he was correcting. I mean, in a lot of cases, obviously he was correct, but no one before had cared the way I used this grammar. This guy is really out to get me. He is targeting me. And then I learned these concepts, that these beliefs that I had about him targeting me, that he was out to get me, that he was after me, and how I was dealing with him. And then I started to realize and learn these principles and values, and I realized, well, maybe that's not accurate. Maybe I should act differently towards my beliefs of him, and maybe I should find out a little more. And I did, right? I met him for lunch. I invited him out to lunch on duty. Hey, let's meet for coffee over here. I actually, because of my belief that he was out to get me, he didn't like me, I actually thought that he wouldn't say yes. And he did. He said, yes, I'll see you there. And we sat down. Turned out this guy was an English major. He actually had a master's degree in English literature or something. So that was his thing. Grammar was his thing. I wasn't the only reports that he was rejecting. He did that with everybody. He did it based on his knowledge of grammar and applying that to how he corrected reports. Now, that was kind of frustrating, because in police reports, we kind of write to a 5th or 6th grade level so that everybody can understand it who reads these police reports. Very simple, right? So lawyers and victims and witnesses and people can understand a police report. So it's written at the basic level. And for him, a master's degree in grammar, I'm sure that he got bored with that kind of language or the way that reports were written. But here I was now getting an understanding, right? Just like Stephen Covey said in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right? Seek first to understand, then to be understood. So I was seeking to understand. Hey, the sergeant I'm understanding. This guy is an English major. He loves looking at these reports and correcting them. He is not out to get me. As a matter of fact, he didn't not like me. He never even thought about that. He agreed to meet with lunch with me, and then I got to learn all these things by asking questions. And we had a great conversation. Come to find out, he knew where my summer place in the Thousand Islands, New York was. He himself loves to fish, freshwater fish. We had a commonality there, and we talked fishing for quite a while. And you know what? Our relationship improved, and a little bit from him, but 100% really from me, the belief that I gave to it, the meaning that I gave to our interactions. No longer, I knew for a fact, I was solid. Oh, this guy likes me. This guy's not out to get me. And so that was all a change of thinking. It wasn't really a change in anything he did or said. Although I know on his end too, he appreciated our new friendship based on things that we had in common and shared with each other. Just a brief few minutes together talking, and it changed everything. But the big thing was not the time we spent together. The big thing was I could have changed that in the blink of an eye just with my thoughts, just with what I was focusing on, the meaning I gave to him, what I did about it. And there we go, those 3 decisions. I could have applied those right back then, but I got a roundabout way of getting there and making the changes. And I say it a million times, when I changed, things began to change for me. We have the power. It's an internal job. I don't know about you, but I get excited about this just because I get excited because of the results I've already gotten from these things. And I was reminded today when I was relearning stuff that why People who are the greatest at something already keep practicing being great. I was thinking of Seth Curry and how he is one of the greatest three-point shooters that has ever been. And he has these rituals. I don't know what the numbers are, but just hundreds and hundreds of three-pointers he shoots before every game. Hundreds and hundreds of three-point shots he takes the week before a game. He's already the greatest in the world at three-point shooting, and yet he practices more and more three-point shooting. So the greatest in the world practice what they're already great at. And what are we after? You and me, to master, life mastery. We want to be great at managing our life, mastering our life. And once we get there, we got to keep practicing those things. Keep practicing living greatly as we're already living greatly. We don't get to a point and now we're done. Living greatly, glad that's over. Time to celebrate. No, we got to keep practicing the right things that we're already great at. Mastering our life, if we get great at mastering our life, we got to keep practicing those things over and over again on a daily basis, constantly practicing those right three decisions, what we focus on, the meaning we give to it, and what we do about it. And I mean, that's just important. Now, life's going to happen to us, and we're going to have things happen to us. Life's going to happen. The same wind blows on all of us, the wind of despair, tragedy. Things are going to happen. Things are going to break down. Things are going to go wrong. And the emotions that we feel in reaction to that are going to be appropriate. Sadness, despair, they're going to be appropriate for the time, for the current conditions that are happening. But we don't have to live there. We don't have to make that our identity. We can decide, okay, that was enough. I grieved that. And now I need to move on. I set a time. Okay, listen, it's okay to feel sad about this. Matter of fact, it's appropriate. I need to feel the full range of my emotions. But, okay, that's enough. It's been an hour. Now I need to move on for the rest of my day. And I'm going to do that by changing my focus, right? All of it comes down to the state we're in. That's how we manage our life greatly, is by changing our state. If we're in a positive state, a preponderance of our time during the day, what a great life we're going to have, built on a day-by-day basis. And we are in control of changing our state. You know how to do it. By changing your physiology, the way you move your body. Motion affects emotion. That's how we change our state, number one. Number two, focus, what we're focusing on. We know focus equals meaning. Focus equals feeling. So what we focus on, and then the meaning that we're going to give to what we're focusing on, and then we got to do. We got to be doers, right? The greatest among us are on the field. Don't take yourself off the field of play. No, we need to be on the field, not in the stands. We need to be on the field of our life. We're not watching from a distance. We're actively involved in it. Let's get ready for the next play, plan the next play, and execute it. If it fails, that's just information. It is not a failure, or we're failing on this play. All right. Blow the whistle because it's time for the next play. There's a shot clock going on in our head. So we can only spend so much time as we walk back to our huddle. I love sports metaphors. Aren't they great? Because you get a good visual. That is a great one. As I walk back to the huddle of life, planning my next move, I really have to be conscious of my shot clock. There's going to be a penalty if I sit too long in this emotion, this thing, these thoughts, these feelings, these meanings. If I sit too long here, there's going to be a penalty, and I'm going to be moved back. I want to be moving forward towards my goals. So I got a shot clock in my head. Keep track of the shot clock. Get ready. Get in the huddle. Call the next play and execute it. And after that, you're going to call the next one and execute it. If you're successful, you're still going to go on to the next play. If you score a touchdown, you're going to celebrate. You're going to spike the ball. You're going to spike it. But then you got to get moving because the game keeps going. We celebrate our wins. We celebrate our scores, but we can't sit too long in it or there's going to be a penalty and we're going to pay that price. No, celebrate, spike the ball, high five, chest bump our partners, our teammates. We don't do anything alone in this world. And then let's get ready for the next play. The game continues. We are winners. We may fail on a play, but we're going to win the game. Keep going, everybody. I love those sports metaphors. I'm going to keep using those more often. Where's my producer? Take note of that. I want to make a couple shorts on that. Focus equals feeling, everybody. Whatever we focus on, we feel. Right? Someone doesn't show for dinner. We're waiting. Uh-oh. Were they in an accident? Have they been killed in an accident? Then we start worrying. We start actually thinking. We give a meaning to that. They didn't show up. They must have died in an accident. If they didn't make it here, they must be in a crash. They must be hurt. They're in the hospital. And now we actually feel the emotions of someone who's been in an accident, who's been killed in an accident, even though we find out later it never happened. But we feel the emotions as if it really happened. We feel the pain. And then it never happens. Don't feel the pain of something that never happened. Our focus controls. If you're thinking someone is trying to take advantage of you, you will be stressed out. You're going to get stressed out. If you think people are taking advantage of you, you're going to believe that. You're going to react to how you believe. Then someone tells us something, right? Guess what? Someone did this to you. You know what they said about you? You know what they did? I'm telling you. And you say, no, they wouldn't do that. I know them better than you. No, they did. They did that. Then you start believing. And next thing you know, you're confronting them. And then you find out it didn't happen. See, most of us don't control our focus. I'm including myself because I've noticed recently where I wasn't. That's why it has to be constantly tended to, right? Our garden of success has to be tended to. Sure, once we get all the weeds out, it looks nice and things start to grow, all the seeds that we planted, and we're going to have a great harvest, but we can't leave the field. We got to stay there because weeds will sprout. And when they're small, we can get rid of them like that. But if we leave the field, come back a month later, all of a sudden our garden is overgrown. It's choking out some of our positive seeds that we planted. Can't let that happen. Got to control them with our thinking, the meaning we give to our thoughts, and the actions we take. Are you getting this, baby? I hope you're getting this because I know I'm getting it myself. The moment we focus on something, our brain makes a second decision. What does this mean? The minute you start to focus on something, your brain automatically, by habit, assigns a meaning to it. Or asks the question, what does this mean? And then the brain comes up with an answer. That's why I love talking about the power of our questions, because our brain does not argue with us. Our brain is the greatest servant of all. It will actually answer any question we ask of it. Like, why am I such a loser? What an idiot I am. Why do these things keep happening to me? Your brain does not argue with you. It always looks for the answer. That's why you change the questions. You change it up. What's good about this? What's good about this? Focus on that. What is good about this situation? You know what? If I didn't have this flat tire, I wouldn't have decided to change all 4 tires that I know are bad. If I didn't do this, I might have had a really bad accident down the road and been killed. Wow, this was a life or death. This was a lifesaver. That's what's good about this. What else is good about this? See, ask those questions. What's good about this? How can I make this a positive? We're in control of the questions, and our brain automatically conspires with us. And it will conspire with us in a positive way if we dictate the right things to us. So most of us don't control our focus, but we can change that today. The moment we focus on something, so focus is the number one decision every day, every minute, every day. We decide what to focus on. And then the second decision, the meaning we give to things. That happens, our brain does that as soon as we decide on what we're focusing on. What does this mean? Because the brain wants to know immediately if this is a danger. Is this something I need to pay attention to? Is this something that could kill us? Because I got to know, because then I'm going to take action. I'm going to do something differently if this is dangerous as opposed to not dangerous. The brain gives what we're focusing on a meaning. Is this the ending or is it a beginning? Is this person disrespecting me? Challenging me? Or are they coaching me? Are they loving on me? If we believe someone is loving on us, we're going to act towards them in a certain way. If we believe they're taking advantage of us, we're going to be acting on them in a total different way. Most of us don't control the meaning. When we see something, we're conditioned to give it a meaning. Sometimes we're conditioned to assign something a meaning just out of habit. I talked earlier about the media. They know, they're smart enough to know that the brain has a negative bias to protect ourselves. That's why you get that saying, if it bleeds, it leads. Hey, if it's a disaster, people will look at it. They want to see it because our brain wants to know if it's dangerous or not. So if it's something that's positive, la la, happy-go-lucky, that's why people don't want to pay attention to that because they already know that's not going to hurt me. So they don't pay attention to it. But hey, that might be dangerous. Your brain automatically pays attention to it. That's why the media is constantly putting things out. This might be dangerous. You might want to fear this. This is probably going to kill you next week or maybe today. If you don't pay attention and listen to the rest of the story, you're going to be in trouble. The media knows. And the purpose of the media today is not to advertise or to inform us. No, it's to fire us up. It's to create that emotion in us, that anger. People will do more for anger and frustration than they will for pleasure and laughing. They will. They'll do more. Wave at somebody and give them a smile on the freeway. You know how long they're going to follow you? Not too far. Give somebody the finger, enrage them. Oh, they'll go 10 miles past their exit to get after you. Right? People in the media now on these platforms, they're paid when you pay attention. That's why there's clickbait out there, things that aren't really what the story's about, but they want you to click on it. They're going to get paid to get you to click on that thumbnail, get you involved in the platform. And then once they get you there, maybe they can hold on to you and drag you down that rabbit hole. You ever been dragged down that rabbit hole? I know I have. If we don't take control of our focus, we're going to focus on what they want us to focus on, what society, what the world wants us to focus on, what the negative advertisers want us to focus on. So we have to intentionally focus on the right things that we know is right for us. We have to claim our power. We have to learn to take control of our focus. It's critical to our lives, critical to learn how to take control of our focus. Everything comes after that. First focus, then meaning, then what we do. And you can see by making a subtle change, just a daily change in our focus is going to change the meaning we give to things and what we do about it. And our life is going to change in such a positive way. You're going to get excited. You're going to come back. You're going to like this video. You're going to replay it. You're going to send it to a friend because I know that you're meant for greater things than today for tomorrow. You're awesome. I just want to encourage you. One time my pastor said, Cliff, you have the gift of encouragement. I liked that. I get hooked on that. Playing tennis the other day, I talked about this in one of my shorts. I kept telling the guy I was playing with, we actually were down 4-1 in our tennis match. And I said, hey, keep at it. You're doing a great job. Keep serving. Your serves are, he said, you know what? I appreciate your encouragement. And I go, yes, I just fulfilled my mission today, which was the gift of encouragement. And you let me know that I was encouraging you in a positive way. Even in the face of adversity, it's easy to celebrate. It's easy to smile, laugh, right? When things are going well, it's easy to high five. I think that's why the Bible says love your enemies, because when people are friendly, when they're our friends, when they're our family, when they're loving on us and we're loving on them, it's easy to love them. No, it's when we're in hard times, tough times, adversity, tragedy. That's when it's hard, right? That's when it's hard to love. That's when we know we're intentionally doing it. And how are we doing it? By those 3 decisions: focus, meaning, action. Focus, meaning, doing. That's the secret, everybody. That's right, boys and girls. Listen, let's get motivated today. There's 2 kinds of motivation, right? Push and pull. We can try by will to do something. We know we want something. We're trying to push ourselves into it. But there's another kind of motivation, that's pull. And if we have outlandish goals that pull us, how do they pull us? Is it just by wanting a beach house? Is that going to pull us to succeed or to attain our goals. No, that's not going to pull us. No, we got to give strong meaning to wanting that beach house. Why? What? Why do we want it? Because of the moments we're going to share on this beach, listening to the ocean crash, feeling the sand on our feet, having our morning coffee as we watch the sunrise, having our family over to our beach home, celebrating Christmas and holidays and Thanksgiving with our friends and family on our new beach house. That's the why. That's going to pull us. That's going to get us up at 5 a.m. That's going to have us tackling, right, the things that we need to do of the day. I'm getting excited just talking about it, everybody. Our state, a state of resolve. We're resolved to doing this. You ever get in that state of resolved where you finally get to the point? I got this on the LA Sheriff's Department when I was getting frustrated, angry. I finally got to the point. No more. Last day. Not going to happen. Refocus. Going in a different direction. This is what I'm going to do. I felt this way for the last time. I'm dealing with this for the last time. I am now focused, excited, and I'm driven to go in this direction starting today, right now. No, I'm going to get my real estate license. I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to be in total control of my finances and where I'm going in life. And so then I got to the seminars, and then all of a sudden I changed, and then everything began to change for me. Oh, all of a sudden the job that I had blamed before, it wasn't the job. I started thriving on that job. Well, all of a sudden my comedy career was stalled, and all of a sudden it started taking off. People started coming to shows. I was renting out theaters. So it was me all along. It was me all along. That'll pull you. Those outlandish goals will pull you. Right? Behavior shapes our state. The way we move shapes our state. So if you're a state of resolve, commitment, if you're driven because you know what you want and you know why you want it, then the actions are going to come. The how is going to come naturally. The what, the why, and then the how is going to come. Those opportunities are going to show up in your life. It's going to be exciting. Take advantage of those opportunities. And if you miss one, that's okay. Look for the next one. Right? It's like surfing life. Yeah, I know you missed that wave, but get ready. There's another one coming. Don't stare too long at the one you missed. That's already crashed on the beach. It's already gone. There's another one coming. There's a new one coming. Grab it. Start paddling now, baby. You're great. There's so many great things that are going to be happening for you. I am so confident. Leave a note in the comments. I want to hear the great things that are happening for you. I like to hear it. Tony Robbins talks about driving school. He went to a racing school where they put him in a race car. And he said, listen, it was a spin car, right? He says, listen, when we get going here, I'm going to put you into a spin. And then hopefully we don't crash into the wall, because initially you're going to be in the habit of looking to where we're going. And that's not where you want to be. You want to get around the corner, but you're going to be looking into the wall. And where focus goes, energy flows. And because you're looking in the wall, you're going to be steering unconsciously in the direction of the wall. That's why people traveling along a backcountry road, and you wonder, how did this person hit a telephone pole when there's not another telephone pole within 10 miles? But they found this one, and they hit this one because they went into their skid, and they started focusing on what they don't want. I don't want to hit this telephone pole. And all your subconscious mind hears is telephone pole, and subconsciously you go to the telephone pole. Don't focus on what you don't want. Focus on what you want. You're in charge of your life. You know when you can change it? Right now. Blink of an eye. Don't poo-poo us. Don't poo-poo this shit. It's very serious. If you take your life casually, your life will be full of casualties. Don't be casual about your life. Be intent. Be purposeful. Be passionate about what you're going to be doing next. One life to live, everybody. Let's do it. And that's why I enjoy spending my time with you right now. It's valuable to me. The things that we're talking about, you and me, just you and me right now, not anybody else, you and me. These things are important. If you walked away right now and I still talked about these things, guess what? I get to hear them. I get to see them. I'm reading them. They're going to affect me in a positive way, even if you walk away. Don't walk away. Stick with me. We can be a team. Pull. You want goals that are going to pull you. Exciting. That's why make your goals exciting, outlandish, crazy good. Then start on your journey. Get on that proverbial map of life. Destination in mind, knowing where you're at and the direction you need to head in, and start heading in that direction. Now, listen, along the way, you may change where you want to go. But the thing is, you've already started on a journey, and you're already going to be reaping the benefits of that journey. Wow. Whatever you focus on, you unconsciously steer toward. Just like the wall in Tony's case, right? Tony, the spin car that he was in, when he took the driving school, the driver said, listen, you're not going to be able to see this, but you see this here, right here? It's got 4 buttons on it. When I push one of those buttons, it raises one of the tires, and it puts us in a spin in that direction. Now, when we get going, 150, 200 miles an hour, I'm going to push one of those buttons. You're not going to see which one. And we're going to start going into a skin. Now, initially, you're going to be unconsciously turning towards the wall. And I'm going to push you away. I'm going to get you to refocus. And we're going to do that 10, 11, 12 times. Eventually, you're going to not react, but you're going to respond by looking to the next curve, because that's where you want to go. And that's where you're going to have the car go because of what you're focusing on. And eventually, you're going to get in the habit of doing that. As a matter of fact, you're going to get hooked. You're going to get hooked on making that right decision. It's going to be so habituated. And then not only you're not feeling the pain of going into the wall, you're going to feel the pleasure of steering that car in the direction that you want to go. That is applied to your life. In the direction you want to go. Focus on the curve ahead in your life, not the wall where you don't want to go. If you focus on the wall, you're going to hit it. Focus on that next turn, because it's coming, by the way. The greatest race car drivers in the world, they're the greatest at racing cars, and yet they're going to go into a spin. Why? Because somebody's going to crash in front of them. Someone's going to lose control in front of them. There's going to be an oil patch that they don't see in front of them, and they're going to go into a spin. But they've habituated how to respond in the right way. To come out of that spin, get towards that next turn. And that's how we master life, with the same principles and values. I'm getting excited. I got to calm myself down. This happens to me frequently. How about you? Let me know in the comments. What do most people focus on? What they want or what they fear? Fear. Most people focus on what they fear. What they fear of losing. What they have or not getting. Fear of losing what they want. When you start doing things right, do you instantly get rewarded? Not normally. Usually there's lag time. We got to keep that in mind, right? Guy or girl goes on a diet. 4 days. I don't see anything. I've restricted my diet. I've exercised. I don't see any results. No, too soon. You're looking too soon. You ate crap. You engorged yourself for 40 years. Now 4 days, you want results. There's lag time. You just have to know I'm doing the right thing in the right way for the right reason. That's all you have to know. Listen, the stonecutter knows that. He hammers. He's hitting that marble 1,000 times. There's no results. But he knows the next one or the next one after that, all of a sudden that piece of marble was going to break away, revealing the beautiful sculpture that he's trying to make. But 1,000 times he hit that rock, nothing. But he has the knowledge to keep hitting. He's hitting that rock in the right place, in the right way, with the right tool. He knows it's coming. That stone's going to fall away and reveal. I think it was Michelangelo who says, I don't sculpt this beautiful statue. I reveal it by knocking away the unwanted parts of it. I thought that was pretty awesome. When you start doing the right things the right way, you don't instantly see positive results. In most cases, there are some lag time. Going to the gym, I worked out hard today. I don't see anything. Lag time, right? Because our body muscles get bigger by rebuilding. We tore them down in the gym. Now we get big in rest. We think we get big when we're working out because we get pumped. We see our arms bigger. We pumped blood into the damaged muscle, but actually we've torn that muscle down. And now we actually need rest time for that muscle so that it can rebuild, because your mind tries to make that muscle bigger to handle the stress that you put on it. So the next time you go in the gym, you're a little bit stronger. Not only can you handle that weight you put on it before, now you can add a little bit more, right? We break it down a little bit more. Sometimes we're maintaining, sometimes we're gaining. But we know we're doing the right thing, and we just keep doing it. Don't stop. Perseverance trumps talent every time. Life mastery is the repetition of the right things in the right way for the right reason. Simple things. To live an extraordinary life, people think we need to do extraordinary things. No, we need to do a smaller amount of things extraordinarily well. Then we lead an extraordinary life. Not easy to say, but easy to understand, easy to implement, easy to adapt. Life mastery, we're going to keep working on a daily basis. It's not enough to understand it, but that's been in your habit for a lifetime to look towards the wall, right? Tony Robbins taking the racetrack training. He understands not to look at the wall, but that's not enough because it's been a habit. He's got to break that habit by creating and repeating repetition of not looking to the wall, but looking ahead. That's going to be how we master life. Tennis was the same way. I went to tennis training. I went to a coach, and I have people sometimes even today tell me, Cliff, you should do this. And I want to yell at them, I know what I should be doing. I'm just not executing it. I remember filming myself as I was trying to improve my tennis serve. And I knew what I was trying to do. And I actually thought that I was doing something differently than I was because I filmed myself. And I saw, wait a minute, I think I'm doing it this way. And now I'm seeing the video and I see, oh no, I'm actually doing it so much differently than I actually think or feel it. And so by videotaping myself, I got the real view. And then I could practice again, try to retrain myself. Then I video again. Okay, I'm making progress. I've changed a little bit. I'm starting to get that muscle memory in for the right way. So we've got to know exactly what actually is happening. It's not enough to know. We've got to make it a part of us. Information with a lot of emotion is absolutely retained. But if we get information without emotion, it's barely retained. We may hear the right things in the right way for the right reason that could really change our life, but there's no emotion, strong emotion attached to it, we're not going to retain it. But if we get information with a lot of emotion, it's absolutely retained. That's why Tony Robbins in his seminars, it's immersion. It's 12 hours a day. It's repetition. But with strong emotions. Boom, boom, loud music, moving your body in a positive way, jumping up and down, feeling great, jumping up and down, feeling great, getting this information, feeling great, jumping up and down, moving, smiling, friends, high-fiving, getting information under high emotion. It's definitely retained. That's why a 3-day seminar with Tony Robbins, you retain a lot of it because you're immersed for 12 hours of those 3 days. And if you take notes and you look at those notes and you read them and you make goals, then you retain even more. It gets exciting, everybody. I'm telling you. So strong emotion is so important. That's important when we are communicating, right? Look at it this way. Jim Rohn used to say, right, when you say words, when you communicate, when you talk, and those words, they land on other people without emotion. That it barely touches. It's like a little bit of it's like a dart hitting someone with a heavy coat. It doesn't penetrate. It doesn't get through. It falls off. That's how much your words mean to somebody with no emotion. It's not said in a good way. But if you have strong emotion, if you have love, passion behind those words, and you're true to that, now those words are the word is like a pin that's strapped to an 80-pound iron bar that you thrust at somebody. Now it goes right through to their heart. You drive right to the soul of that person. Your words have great meaning because the emotion attached to them. I almost apologize for being so passionate about this stuff, but I'm not going to apologize for it because maybe it'll have a positive impact on you, and you're going to make steps for your life mastery. I know you will. once you start making some of these changes in the way you decide what to focus on, the meaning you give to it, and what the actions are you're going to take and respond to that, after a while, you're going to get so rewarded for your new focus and your new behaviors that you're automatically going to go there right away on a daily basis. It's going to be habituated, that way of thinking, to making good decisions on what you focus on, the meaning you give to things, and what you're going to do about them. And you're no longer going to feel pain. You're going to feel such great pleasure. That is really going to pull you. I got to repeat this. I talked about it earlier. Little did I know I was going to remember it really verbatim, just because I had seen it on a video I was watching, wrote it down, read it back, and then I really started to know it in my own heart. The greatest in the world keep practicing what they're already great at. It's like a Seth Curry. Thousands and thousands of three-point shots. He continues to shoot, even though he's the greatest in the world. He doesn't get to that point and stop practicing that. He still practices what he's already great at. And we want to be the best in the world at mastering our lives. Seth Curry. I just saw Seth Curry. What an amazing guy. Check him out. He's so positive. But it's funny because I saw him on a YouTube show with Bryson DeChambeau, one of the greatest golfers, and he has a show on YouTube where he has people with him. They try to break 50. And man, this Seth Curry, his golf he carried the pro, Bryson DeChambeau, for about 12 holes. I mean, he drove that ball. He outdrove Bryson DeChambeau, one of the longest drivers on the PGA Tour. He outdrove him, I think, twice. I know once he did outdrive him because he made note of the sound. He goes, oh man, when you hit it, I mean, he had hit a striper right down the center. And then Bryson, he whacked his, and he goes, my God, Curry says, the sound is so much different with you pros. But when they got to the balls, Seth Curry's ball was beyond Bryson DeChambeau's. He had outdrove him. But some of the way his ball striking, come to find out, Seth Curry, and if you don't know who he is, he's just one of the best three-point shooters in the world. He's a pro basketball player, known for his three-point shots and making these under pressure, and his loyalty to playing with one team. But what a great golfer he is. And you could, as I was, starting to think, oh, he's just athletic. No. Then you find out when he was a kid, his dad used to drop him off at the local golf course, and he would play on that course 36 holes a day, right? And then he'd get dropped off in the morning, and he got done playing at night when it was getting dark. His dad would pick him up. So he was so immersed in playing golf, repetition. So that's how he became such a great golfer, because he immersed himself when he was young. And then he didn't stop there. He loves playing golf, so he still plays to this day. Seth Curry, pro NBA player, plays in two. They said he plays in two PGA events a year and then one celebrity golf event. But you got to check him out, man. Go to that Bryson DeChambeau video on YouTube. Check out Seth Curry. And that's just a good metaphor for us as we endeavor to master our lives. All right, everybody, you know I love you. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on a podcast, audio podcast only, listen, get over to my YouTube channel. We're actually growing by leaps and bounds over there on the YouTube channel, right? Cliff Yates. So subscribe and check out the video portion. I have other videos there too. Check them out. Leave a comment, and let's keep going, moving forward. Oh, man, you got such greatness within you. I can't wait to hear about it. All right, everybody, I'll see you in the next episode.